Diys-by-dar. Let's make rhubarb vanilla bean jelly. Here is my rhubarb plants. Rhubarb is a big thing in Michigan. A lot of people have it out in their yards, so why not use it? It's ready right now. This is what the stalks look like. You want to cut them right down at the bottom where they come out of the ground, and then trim the big leaf off. Now, this is a jelly bag set. And it's metal, you put it together, and then it has a jelly bag that hangs from it where you put your berries, pureed rhubarb, whatever you're trying to get the juice out of in that bag, and you let it drip out. So I'm going to take and cut this rhubarb into 1-inch pieces because I am going to put it in the food processor and I am going to puree it. I need to scrape the sides down because there's still some pretty good sized pieces up on the side. And you want all of it to be pureed. Quite a long process. The recipe says should take about 2.5 pounds. But I'm not sure. I think I used more than that, but what you're shooting for there is what it's going to look like. You're shooting for 3.5 cups of liquid. And you're going to see here in a minute how slowly this drips. And you can give it a little help. In fact, you almost have to give it a little help when you're doing something like rhubarb. So you can gently squeeze it, but you don't want to really keep squeezing until you have sediment come through. So this is what you want it to look like. And this is how slow it drips if you just let it drip and you didn't help it. You'd be there forever. Some distilled vinegar, your canning pot, put some of that vinegar in there. That helps keep the calcium deposits off your jars. Your big kettle for your jelly, pot with a little water for your lids. Some pinchers, a ladle, a jar lifter, and then also a funnel. Here is our liquid. We're going to get ready to move that. And here are your jars. Make sure they are clean in hot soapy water, rinsed in hot water, and set upside down until you are ready for them. We need 3.5 cups of this rhubarb liquid. And this has been sitting for 5-6 hours. So I put 1 tablespoon of lemon juice in it already to help keep the color nice and pink. And I am taking from the top since the sediment has settled down to the bottom. And I'm shooting for 3.5 cups of this liquid, and it's looking pretty clear. Go ahead and put your liquid in your pot. Then we're gonna get ready and get our Certo ready. You need a box of Certo, which 2 packages are going to come in that box, and each package is 3 ounces each, and you're going to need both of those pouches in your jelly. So the sugar's going in. Some lemon juice. The other tablespoon of lemon juice I'm putting in right now. Secret ingredient, a vanilla bean. This little baby was $10 for this 1 bean in this jar. This is the only company I found them at, and you can see, wow, that's it. Cut it in half. Makes it a little easier. Then you're going to slice it in half. So you can kind of lay that open to scrape the little tiny bean seeds out. Kind of flatten it out for yourself. They're pretty oily. but they smell really nice. Just take a flat knife and kind of scrape the insides, and you can see right there, that's all the little seeds. Do the whole bean. You're going to put that whole bean in there. Just the seeds, not the bean shell. This is what it's going to look like. I'm going to turn it on. I need to heat it up, and I need to boil this for 3 minutes. Then I add the Certo gel and get it to boil again for another minute, and you're ready to go. That bean will break up when that heat hits it, and you can kind of keep hitting it with the spoon to break them up a little bit more. Now that funnel, you want to fill it just to the bottom red part on that funnel, and then that leaves you enough, it's kind of a gauge that leaves you enough headspace in there when you put it in its hot water bath. And when I fill these, I kind of turn that pan to the side because I don't want to get any of the scum that sometimes can form on the top of jellies when you're making them. You're going to see one here in a minute. I did get one in there, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. See that little floater right there? And it's like, no, I don't want that little floater inside my jelly jar. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my pinchers and grab it and pull it out of there. You're going to wipe around the rim of every jar, because if you've got any drop of jelly on there and you put your lid on, it's not going to seal. They need to be clean. I'll have all the instructions in the description with what the recipe actually is. Taking a couple more lids out of that hot bath, I just lay them. I've got a towel sitting there, a clean towel. Kind of just pat them off. Put them on top of the jars. Get the rings. Put the rings on. Then I'm going to take and use my little pinchers because they're hot. Hang on tight. Don't drop a jar. I've done it once. No fun. Now they're going in my pre-boiling hot water bath. And carefully put each jar in. I believe I had 9 jars in this group, which will fit inside this big canner. And you're going to put them all along the outside edge, which you can see. And that water a couple inches above the cans. And then put the lid back on, and you want to boil this for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, carefully take all of your jars out. Sometimes you start to hear them popping, but sometimes you don't. Popping meaning that the jar is sealing. If you get one that doesn't seal, just put it in your refrigerator and use it. See how liquid that still is when I kind of hit that? Don't worry about it. It's going to get solid. If you follow this recipe, it's going to get solid. Now you can see that very front jar. It's not sealed because that little button in the middle is still up. And that one next to it looks like it must have sealed on its way over. So there you have it. Wonderful jelly. Great with peanut butter and jelly. The best. Hey guys, thanks for watching.